This child is 2.5 years old at the time of this videotape, and her history is status post-respiratory arrest in the first month of life. She also has extremely low tone, and that's global throughout her body, so that she also has airway problems and swallowing problems, in addition to her gross and fine motor challenges. For the first year she had therapy at home. She came into our center-based program, into a classroom, a year ago, so she was 18 months old at that time, and her main means of locomotion at that time was to scoot around on her bottom. She did not crawl, and if you tried to stand her up at all, she would pick her feet up and refuse to take any weight on her feet. Since then, she's made huge strides in therapy, and right now we're working mostly on having her be independent and safe walking around in her environment. We're working on her being able to walk more easily on uneven ground, different surfaces, on her being able to squat fully to the floor and come back up, on her being able to push things around, generating some real strength in her legs, in particular in her gluteal muscles, in her hips, and then making her stronger and safer going up and down stairs. We've been trying to get her more comfortable in full dorsiflexion, whether her knees are straight or flexed, and to get her to work with her hips more under her spine in a more upright position. Her gait pattern is characterized by locking in a lot of her joints, and she tends to jam her knees back into hyperextension, and that puts her ankles into relative plantar flexion, and then her hips will flex forward and her low back is in lordosis, and all that makes it very hard for her to balance in a really upright, straight position. She is wearing mid-height JumpStart Dafos. We put her in those because her primary alignment problem was pronation, but she was small enough and weak enough that anything heavier than a JumpStart we were afraid would overpower her and cause her to basically stop walking. Alignment is a real key in getting her to figure out how to access the muscles that she should be using instead of the muscles that she prefers to use to jam her joints back. So I need to work with her with the Dafos on her feet, because the better alignment I get through her ankles, the better alignment I can get all the way up her kinesthetic chain, and it really makes a difference as to how well she can recruit the muscles and how much strength we can build. And she's gotten quite a bit stronger since we started using the Dafos, and they make her able to do more work within a therapy session without getting quite so exhausted. I've been using a wedge quite a bit with this child because it helps to get her out of her preferred plantar flexed ankle position, and then when we can get her to squat and stand on the wedge, it helps her to really move her knee forward over her foot and let her experience the full range of dorsiflexion she has, as well as trying to strengthen both her quadriceps muscles and her glutes with her ankles in those different degrees of dorsiflexion. Push, push, push. Yeah, push, come on. Come on, push. Got it, push. We also work with her standing on my legs to provide her with a movable surface that's not so predictable as the wedge is. And that way, if I can shift her weight to one side, that helps her unlock the other leg and then move her foot into dorsiflexion as her heel drops down over the curve of my leg, and then shift her back so that she weight bears again with the ankle in a more dorsiflexed position and the knee less hyperextended. Can you swim down there? Push! Yes. Pushing the car up the ramp is a strength building and an endurance exercise I've used that also has the advantages of putting her feet again on a surface that encourages her to dorsiflex while she's having to actually produce some force to push the car up against gravity. She's more than willing to do it because she likes the payback of getting the ride back down, and because she'll do it over and over again, it helps with building her endurance. Stairs are a skill we've been working on not only because they require strength and they require balance, but they also require attention. And attention is another piece that this little kiddo has trouble with. She does get easily distracted, and she does tend to want to go faster than she's really safe going. So we've worked a lot on stairs to try and regulate her speed of movement as well as her intention to what's going on. And then again, in order to lower herself from one stair to another, she needs some controlled dorsiflexion all the way over the ankle, and then to go up the stair, she needs to load that leg again in a more dorsiflex position. So we're still using it to try and break up her habit of standing in a hyperextended and plantar flexed posture.